are you doing? I hope you all are doing great. Happy Tuesday. I always never know what day it is. I feel like Harry in certain ways. He never knows what day it is. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. Hope all is well with you. Again, welcome to Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and Mama Mia. Someone always tells me, like, you always forget Mama Mia. So there you go. Mama Mia, hello. So, anyways, hope you guys are doing great. Our faves are under a tree somewhere in Montecito, but not exactly quiet, even though we're not seeing them physically, which is fine. I'm like, you stay under your tree. I don't need to see you. You just take your time away and do all the wonderful things you're doing. And we will see you we will see you later, Lord willing. But great things are happening with Archewell. They are definitely showing their work. We saw their production work last year and earlier this year. Well, still going on with Harry's book, and then obviously we had Archetypes, we had Harry and Meghan docuseries, we have Live to Leave, we have Spare, we have all of those things on the production and publishing end of things, and now we get Foundation report, and it's just been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And it just, we are not shocked. We literally, I did 2 episodes of the impact of their, philanthropy, their foundation's work. So we have 2 episodes of that. You can just find it here on our channel, of all or almost all, because I think there are a couple of them in the report that I didn't know about. But almost all of the organization, the charities that they work with and they've partnered with. And so it is amazing. It is just so amazing to see the incredible work that they are doing, the impact they are making in the lives of people. It is absolutely amazing. And of course, yesterday, their impact report came out. I posted it in our community page. Hope you had a moment to take a look at it and read through it. I think it's only like 23 pages, and it's pretty short. And but it's just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. But before I get to that, I want to say hello to all of my friends in the chat. Didn't get a chance to say hi to you guys yesterday. So I'm saying hello today. I know some of you might be like, I dropped this crazy video earlier today. I was in I was in Times Square. I'm like, I used to work in Times Square for like years, and now I avoid Times Square like the plague. Just like, I don't like being here. But I was there. And so I was like, all right, well, let me be a tourist for a minute and then remind myself all the reasons why I don't want to be in Times Square. Obviously, it was, actually, it wasn't even crazy busy, but even with all the people that you probably saw in the video, that's not even busy compared to how it is sometimes. It's like, oh my goodness, you can't even walk. And so it's a little bit of a madness down there, but it was good to go back. Again, I tend to walk on 8th Avenue and 6th Avenue and avoid Times Square. And if I have the opportunity, I just completely avoid it. So, but I was smack in the middle of it. So there you go. You got a video. But anyways, Church Nelly. Hello, Church Nelly. How are you doing, and all our wonderful squaddies in South Carolina? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And all the pink hand waves that I only see it. I'm like, I would love to see what it looks like. I only get I get the pink hand waves written out to me. And oh, Lydia's going to join us later. So, but that's great. That's fine. Our awesome moderator. So whenever she comes back, or if she doesn't get back on time, the replay is always there. So there you go. And Verda is here. Hello, Verda. And Anne is here. She's locked in from Trinidad and Tobago, my peeps, my home country. Hello, Anne. And Gwendolyn. Hello. And Gwendolyn is saying hi to a few people. And awesome moderator Karen M is here. Hello, Karen M. How are you? And let's see, Gwendolyn. Yep, we got you, Gwendolyn. And who else do we have here? Hold on. Let's see. I'm scrolling a little bit slowly. There we go. All right. So let's see. Black Queen, you're just running away from me there. Black Queen and Matilda and Legs. And who else we have? Oh, Nelissa NMN. Oh, goodness. That tongue tied there. It's a little early in the morning to try that, more than once. Emma Day is here. Hello, Emma Day and Olive and Gary. Ooh, Gary B. Hello, Gary B. Have I seen you here before? I just forgot. But if you haven't been here before, welcome. Hello. I'm saying hello to the ladies. J Matt is here and Betty is here. Hi, guys. And Classy Lacroix is here. Hello. Hello. Welcome. And all our other friends who will join us. Or who may, I don't know if anybody else is going to join, but who may join us later. We'll say hello as we go along. Yes, I see you, Chantal. And 6, I see you jumped in there. So hello, guys. So anyways, our wonderful faves have been doing amazing things. As we know, we've talked about this quite a few times. So this shouldn't be a shock to a squatty at all. If you have paid any attention to the work and what we've been doing, this should not be a surprise to anyone that what the Sussexes are doing. Of course, if you haven't been paying attention, then there you go. But it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And again, this is in our community page. If you haven't taken a look at it, my thing is there's a lot in there. So I'm not going to go through all of that stuff because we've already done it. But one of the things I love to do is I love to read and I love to see people's response to what the Sussexes have done and what they're doing. I just think it's amazing to read, the different organizations, what they think. So it is really, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read a few of them and, and then you guys can read the different organizations on your own or if you haven't already. So, okay, let's just get this down there. I'm going to move myself out of the way, actually, and also move our little scrolly bar at the bottom there so I can read properly. And if you're new here and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Do what the little scrolly thing at the bottom says. Subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video. And please like if you're here. 157 of my favorite people are here. Please go ahead and click the like button. And share our videos. We're trying to grow our platform, so help us share it. So that would be awesome. Okay, yep. I will just move myself here. There we go. So anyway, so if you haven't read this letter before, this is from the co-executive producers from Archewell. And so I just love it. Impact report at Archewell Foundation. Our core purpose is quite simply to do good. I love that. Just simple. We meet the moment by showing up, taking action, and using our unparalleled spotlight to uplift and unite communities, both local and global, online and offline. Which I'm really hoping they will go to Spoutable, which, again, Spoutable is tomorrow. So hopefully maybe they'll come on Spoutable. But anyway, moving on, it says, we believe that philanthropic work is more about is more than a handout. It is a handheld. To activate this belief, we independently create dynamic and impactful programming to serve communities in need. We also partner with key organizations and leaders to identify immediate needs, build meaningful initiatives, and drive long-term change. Since its founding in 2020 by Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Archewell Foundation has built a growing body of work rooted in the philosophy of compassion, connection, and care. With the leadership of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, we have cultivated strong strategic partnerships with leading organizations, invested millions of dollars across the nonprofit space for sustainable programs, campaigns, and designed, hang on one second, this thing just kind of got in the way there, and designed a strategy centered on large and lasting community. community impact. The result of their work are undeniable, both through the metrics that can be seen and an emotional impact that can be felt. Baked into all that we do is the core belief that our collective well-being and mental health are paramount. Our initiatives between 2020 and 2022 have included investments in vaccine equity, global relief centers, refugee resettlement, and care of families and communities in need, and reshaping our online world with the support of groundbreaking leaders in the space. Thank you for helping us create lasting impact and drive systemic change, one act of service at a time. James and Shauna. And Shauna actually is a new hire. She just came on to be co-executive producers of Archewell. And at the bottom, Chef Andreas. I love Chef Andreas. He always he just loves Harry and Meghan, and just so grateful for their help and their passion to really work with him with World Central Kitchen. And he says Meghan and Harry turned compassion into boots through their Archewell Foundation. In a world where everyone has an opinion about people they don't know, Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have compassion for people they don't know. They don't just opine, they run to the struggle. And that's obviously, we know that's Chef Jose Andres from World Central Kitchen, the founder of World Central Kitchen. And of course, we know that Harry and Meghan have invested in World Central Kitchen, and they've built kitchens in different parts of the world. And so including during the pandemic, so it is just fantastic. I mean, the report has it all in there, the number of organizations that they have partnered with. It's wonderful, the work that they are doing. And hey, there's nothing like numbers. There is absolutely nothing like numbers. I mean, we could talk about opinions all we want, but when you got straight, cold, hard numbers, it is wonderful. At Archewell, we know making an impact is about much more than numbers on a page, but we hold ourselves to the highest standard when it comes to measuring our work in the world. Here is the snapshot of our impact by the numbers. Cold hard facts: 12.66 million COVID vaccines procured for the global population through partnership with global citizens, 174,497 Afghan and Ukrainian welcome into the U.S. And includes 76,606 Afghan allies resettled through Operation Allies Welcome, and 99,981 Ukrainian people into the U.S. under Uniting for Ukraine with Welcome Us. And then 50,000 meals served through partnership with World Central Kitchen, 7,468 individuals rescued from Afghanistan through the partnership with Human First Coalition, 3,673 individuals accessed our resources guide through embracing positive masculinity. And this is an organization that I think is Equimundo. They partnered up with Archetypes, actually. So the resources, you can, if you go on Archetypes, you can find the resources there. So 3,673, and mostly probably male, access their information through their 13 academic fellows addressing society's most urgent concerns surrounding social media at Institute for Rebooting Social Media at Harvard University, and one play space built to foster community and healing in Uvalde, Texas. I love it. I absolutely, absolutely love it. And so it is just really wonderful to see just the incredible work that they're doing. I mean, you can't, Sure, people would want to go after them for a whole bunch of things, but when you see hard facts, you can't argue with cold hard facts. And what I love about this, there was this one person who she is forever trying to, everything Harry and Meghan puts out, she has to find one thing where she feels like it's wrong and she has to correct it somehow. But I was so happy Royal Suda just kind of like laid cold hard facts on her, and then she seemed to have gone away. It was just wonderful. But it's just like, it's amazing. People try to come up with all kind of things, but it's wonderful when you can see cold hard facts. And it's so funny because all of my pages were supposed to be color, and pulling them over into StreamYard, everything turned out white. And I don't know why. I'm like, what happened to my page color? It's all white now. Oh, well. So it's all white. Sorry, it was supposed to be these beautiful, beautiful colors, but I don't know why it's all white. Anyways, moving on. There is something with a color. I am just like, I love it. But again, I love to hear what people, the different organizations that they work with, I love to hear what they think about their experience working with Archewell. And one of those organizations is Team Rubicon. If you remember last year when, no, was it last year? No, the year before, 2021, when Harry and Meghan, they did the Intrepid Museum, and then the next day they went to New Jersey and visited the base there. Team Rubicon is based there, and they were the ones that were housing Afghan refugees, and Harry and Meghan were there. And so they teamed up to work together. So Team Rubicon's VP of operations, this is what he says. He said, by the end of 2021, 2.6 million Afghan nationals were displaced and sought refuge in 98 countries around the world, including the United States. 8% of the women and children. We are extremely grateful for Archewell Foundation's generous contribution to its Team Rubicon's Afghan resettlement program. We were able to provide tangible, immediate benefits through services like donated goods management, arrival, site management, and housing, as well as translation services and logistics supports. Archewell Foundation support fueled our commitment to supporting vulnerable people and our ability to support Afghan families nimbly and effectively at various stages of their transition. And that's Jeff Byard from Team Rubicon. And also, along with that, they had a what do you call those Amazon gifts thing where they have like wish list, the Amazon wish list, and tons of squatties, all of us went on their wish list and purchased stuff for them. And so it was really, really wonderful that the Sussex squad jumped in there and really helped that. RS Locke, really, she was the one that, was taking care of it. And so it was really great that so many squaddies were able to participate and really purchase a lot of, socks and t-shirts and pants and all jackets and all of that stuff for Team Rubicon and their guests at the base. Another organization, a Human First Coalition that Archewell worked with, says Archewell Foundation played an enormous role, in fact, the most critical one in helping Human First to grow in 2021 to 2022. We are a young organization formed in the midst of a crisis, dealing with many ongoing crises this year. After the initial media blitz on the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, and most especially with the invasion of Ukraine, donors quickly lost interest in Afghanistan. But Archewell has been there for us. We are able to provide humanitarian aid in various forms to upwards of 10,000 individuals in Afghanistan and Pakistan, most especially in the 4 months after receiving the grant. We supported all living expenses for approximately 1,000 at-risk Afghans living in safe houses that we operated in Pakistan and Afghanistan. And that's Safira from Human First Coalition. So I just, I love the fact that they are just really vocal about the impact that Archewell and their donations and their support have on these incredible organizations. And these are some, I mean, there's a lot more in the report, obviously, but these are some. Kaboom, obviously, in Uvalde, Texas, that we know they played the playground. And then the Gifted Young at Gravesam. This is an organization in the UK, and I think Harry met with them when he was last there. And Project Healthy Mind, they through Archetypes as well, you can find resources there for mental health resources there. So if you go on Archetypes, you can find it there. I'm sure it's at Archewell as well, Archewell's website, and of course World Central Kitchen we see, and Team Rubicon at the bottom. So these are just some of the organizations that they are a part of, and they fund. And it is just, for me, I just think it is just, I mean, the things that they've done. I mean, gosh, they started in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic. Meghan have a miscarriage, she's giving birth. It's just all of this stuff was happening, and they were able to make this kind of impact. It is unbelievable, the things that they have done. And I'm like, you people are superhuman, and they have an incredible team that work with them that are just as passionate as they are. So it's really, really amazing, the kind of impact that they've had, especially on the Afghanistan, Ukrainian community. And we also know the impact they've also had on Nigeria because of the floods and all of that. A lot of them are not here. You'll read them in the report. But these are some more different relationships they've had. So Dr. Safia Noble from the UCLA Center for Race and Digital Justice, she says, the relationship and support from Team Archewell have had tremendous halo effect on raising visibility to issues of discrimination, harm that emanate from the tech sector. Perhaps the most significant result from the generous support from Archewell Foundation is the creation of the soon-to-be launched the UCLA Center for Race and Digital Justice. This is a new center with a deep commitment to racial justice, grew directly out of the work of UCLA Center for Critical Internet Inquiry, supported by Archewell Foundation. Again, Archewell, yes. And also, yesterday when obviously everybody's been posting the Archewell impact report, People's Vaccine retweeted it, and they said, proud to have our alliance featured alongside other brilliant organizations in Archewell 2020 to 2022 impact report. Harry and Meghan have been unwavering allies to alliances, to the Alliance's advocacy for vaccine equity, and we appreciate all their work and support. And Rebecca Rinkovich from Harvard University, and they are the ones rebooting social media, it says, Archewell Foundation support was the enabling factor behind the RSM Assembly Fellowship Program and the continued development of 13 fellow projects aimed at addressing social media most urgent problems as we work to create healthier online ecosystems. And again, it's like, you got racial justice, you got Vaccine Alliance, you got social media. Now we have media from our from URL. It says Archewell Foundation grant was revolutionary as it allowed URL Media to build a robust recruitment team and strategy for people of color and the employees who seek their talents and excellence. Sarah Romack Reese and Mitra Kalita, who are the co-founders of URL. And we remember this twist of greatness. She was the lady, Brittany Starks, who does the braids for kids. And so this is all, she's also featured in the report, and this is her $20,000 dollars that she got on Ellen, and then she got an additional 5,000, I think it was, from Ellen. So she did great, but they were able to donate this to her because she was doing all the braids for kids for free. And so this, could help support her. And also this one I didn't know about, that Social Media Victims Law Center, where Harry and Meghan met with 5 different families who were victims of social media harassment, bullying, and all of that stuff. And so I think they meet and share with each other. And so they're also working to eliminate the hate that is on social media. And one of our wonderful squaddies, obviously one of our squaddies was spotted. They think this is the day that Harry and Meghan did the video for Elton John because of the outfits they're wearing. Now, don't ask me how they spot it, but when I look back, I was like, oh, it does look like the same outfit, except Harry didn't have his puppy there. But I was like, only a squaddie will figure that out. Only a squaddie, so it is just I think it is just absolutely, absolutely amazing. And I'm going to jump in the chat in a second, but I want to get through this part really fast. And then I'll jump in the chat to see what you guys think. What are you thinking about all of this stuff? And it is just so, for me, just so encouraging. And to see all of this stuff. And again, this is global, especially with vaccines and stuff like that, totally global initiatives. And kaboom! With a beautiful park in Uvalde, Texas, and we know what happened in Uvalde, Texas, and it's so amazing. We just read about one of the organizations talking about when the media goes away and all of that stuff, people forget. You grieve and you outrage and all of that stuff, and then the media go away, and then everyone else seems to go away and leave. And the one thing that is always very much common that we're seeing with Archewell is when the media and all the attention goes away, Archewell stays. And this is definitely the case. This is definitely the case for Uvalde, Texas. When Meghan went there, everybody was angry at her, and there was all this outrage that she took cameras and she did it for promotion and all of those things. My question is, where are all of those people today? I could tell you where Archewell is, where Meghan and Harry are. They are with the people of Uvalde, Texas, and work with Kaboom to create this beautiful park to help the community heal. And, it is amazing. James Holt was also there. James Holt, who's one of the co-directors of Archewell, was in Uvalde, Texas, being part of the build. And what they did was they really commune with the community. They really, met with the community and the people of the community, the kids and the teens and whatever, told them what they needed in the park. And that's how they built the park, according to what the needs are. And so it's really, really amazing. Again, when the media and all the attention goes away, Archewell has been there. And so Kaboom said they tweeted after, again, from the Impact Report, they retweeted it and said, we are grateful for Archewell Foundation partnership on our own work in Uvalde. Together, we created a joyful space for kids to begin healing. We plan to continue this work. Read more about this partnership in the Archewell Foundation Impact Report. So I'm looking forward to Kaboom and Archewell building more parks around the country, as there are so many tragedies all around this country, and building really cool community spaces where people can really feel they can congregate and heal. And Lisa, or Lisa, I've heard she says, she's also from Kaboom. She says, work to end place-based inequity in Uvalde is some of the most significant we will do over the next 3 years, all catalyzed by the initial donation and tons of work from the Duke and Duchess Archewell Foundation. We are so grateful for their partnership. And so it is just, I just was like, our faves. Look at the impact there. Again, they have come into this country and they have not asked for one thing. They have not asked for anybody to give. They have not never even asked for anybody to support them. They just put their stuff out there, and if you support, you support. If you don't, you don't. They have not asked for anything. They have just come to this country and served and gave back. And it's amazing what they've been able to do, and also global citizens, who can forget, beautiful global citizens event in New York, and the first one in LA where Prince Harry, when Meghan was pregnant at the time. So Prince Harry went by himself, and so global citizens also retweeted Archewell, the impact report. Global Citizen says Global Citizens is proud to have partnership with Archewell Foundation highlighted in the 2020-2022 impact report. We're grateful for their support in the fight for vaccine equity, and we look forward to working together to create a brighter future. Also, Michael Sheldrick from Global Citizen says, we are grateful to partner with the Sussex's Archewell Foundation to promote vaccine equity at a time when vaccine nationalism is rife. Our collective advocacy helped procure 12.66 million COVID-19 vaccine doses globally through garnering public and private sectors. And so it is just really, for me, just again, it takes your breath away. Again, a lot of this happening during COVID, Meghan's pregnancy, Meghan's miscarriage, trying to live, and then all the press abuse and all of this stuff happening. Yet they were able to do this. And of course, we remember these beautiful moments. Who could forget? That's Harry in the first one in LA, which was the first since COVID. After COVID started, the first concert in Los Angeles, and that was the Global Citizens concert where Harry alone was. And then, of course, the little one on the right is the New York one at Central Park where Harry and Meghan were, which I tried to go. And it was just so many people I couldn't get in. But I was like, okay, well, never mind. But yeah, it just absolutely fantastic. And again, these are look at the list. I mean, again, this organization started in 2020. We're only in February, well, tomorrow will be February, but January 2023. Look at the list of partnerships that they have formed in this small space of time. And it is just, it's just amazing. It is absolutely amazing to see this, to look at this list. And again, we're not surprised because the Sussexes are all about community. Wherever they go, it's the same pattern. They build community, and which is absolutely an amazing thing. And so I love to see it. And where did they go next? Scobie tweeted about it the other day, says, this is part of the briefing notes. He says, Sussex's Archewell Foundation has released its 2020-2022 impact report. In their first year of operation, they raised $13 million and distributed $3 million in grants across areas, including vaccine equity, relief centers, refugee resettlements, and building better online world. In their third year, Archewell intends to focus on three main pillars united by a vision of a world where our mental health and well-being is cared for, building a better online world, and restoring trust in information and uplifting communities. So that's where they're going. That's where their focus will be ongoing. And so it is absolutely, I am like in awe, in absolute awe. So I am going to jump in the chat for a bit before we go on, see what you guys are saying. I see a few people are talking about it already. Let's see. Wendy Lohman. Wendy says the Sussexes are showing the world you do not need titles to be successful in life. Service is universal with hard work and intelligence. Congratulations, Archewell Foundation. I so second that. Very well said, Wendy. Absolutely. And again, no titles. They have titles, but this has nothing to do with titles. Most importantly, no taxpayer funds. This is their, either making their own money and, raising their own funds. None of this has, not 1 cent of American taxpayer dollars has gone into Archewell Foundation. Neither the British, taxpayers. And they're showing the world this is what we can do on our own apart from the royal family. To the UK people, if this is what the Sussexes can do and are doing away from taxpayer funds. Why are you paying 180? Oh, I'm sorry, 102. Well, really closer to 300 because of security, which they don't tend to add in there. But why are you paying all these millions of dollars to rich royals when this is what the Sussexes are doing with no taxpayer funds? You really have to ask yourself, why are you not protesting? So, but that's you guys, you know. Anyways, let's see. Kenitha says the gutter press, especially the Daily Fail, was quick to read the report on Archewell Foundation website, yet not one mention anything positive about the report. I am not surprised. Well, no, they don't read that for positive. I mean, they don't make money on positive reporting on the Sussexes. Their base is negativity. Their base is lies. The base of people who read their outlet is lies, negativity for against the Sussexes. So don't ever expect positive anything from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail, Express, the Sun, the Mirror, the Telegraph, pretty much the entire British press. Don't expect anything positive out of these people. In fact, be shocked if you ever see one, anything that's positive, because that's not, they don't, hating on especially Meghan is how they make their money. And as we know, there's $1 billion, industry of hating Meghan. And so they've all bought into that. And now that they have not seen Meghan in a while, they're all making up stupid conspiracy theories, because again, their bread and butter is hating the Sussexes. So yeah. Let's see. And Fu says, Petal, that is what you call service is universal. Harry and Meghan are people of love and compassion. Here, here. Exactly. That's who they are. Lydia, you're here. Lydia is back. Hello, Lydia. Welcome. Happy you're here. Let's see. Joyce says Kate does not have a passion project. They're trying to give her something to do, and they can see it is how she delivers. So she delivers the so-called reading off the paper. She does, whatever she's done. We're not gonna give her any attention. Let them, today's about the Sussexes. We're not giving her attention. So whatever she does, let her fail in peace. So, maybe that's horrible to say about someone, like, you want someone to fail. So maybe that's not the best thing I said. So I apologize. No offense meant. But let her just, do whatever she's doing in peace. We don't need to promote her. So there. Letty says, Joyce, that speech she gave could see she was practicing, even though she was reading. She still stumbled on a few words. Okay, I guess that's still on her. So we're just gonna leave her where she is in the UK, and we're gonna stay with the Sussexes. Let's see. Crack Me Up Love says, I said before they're monitoring Sussex sites and stealing ideas. I refuse to comment because YouTube is not the platform, period. Okay, I'm not sure who you meant. I'm sure a lot of people are, it's a public website, so I'm sure a lot of people monitoring or, look at it. So yeah, including myself. I'm always on that site checking out and see what they're doing. Connie Bomber, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it. You're always supporting. Thank you. Very much appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Sherry West says, let's see. Cynthia Thorpe says, hi, Cynthia, says, go, Archewell, go. We are here to support you. Exactly. We are definitely here to support in every way possible. Exactly. Let's see. More of this. Catherine Burr says, hi, Petal, service is universal. The only one I side-eye is SmartWorks. Why do you why explain? SmartWorks actually, Megan, she referred to as SmartWorks in the impact report, and then SmartWorks put out an incredible unemployment. I forgot what they called, catalog, I guess, today. So I will talk about that in the next episode. But they put it out today, and a lot of it was funded by Archewell. Obviously, Megan and her patronage at SmartWorks. So yeah, they're doing great. It's great. It's so funny that we read it in the impact report yesterday, and then they put out their catalog today. So I will post it in the community page. I actually forgot to do that today. I will post it in the community page and also in the show notes here. And also I will post the impact report in the show notes as well. So you'll have it both places. Whichever place you get your information from, that's fine. So why are you side-eyeing SmartWorks? Do tell. Megan, Megan is their patron, so she's fine with it. So, but doesn't mean others can have to be fine with it just because she is. So who knows? If you want to, do tell. Let's see. Vetty says, Pedal, I think you and Baron should stop giving Mumbles ideas. She is out again giving a speech, and she was a bit better, but still a long way to go. Look, again, I talk about, not to, give publicity. I have sympathy for anyone because, as we talked about before, public speaking. They did a poll with, what is the thing I think that you fear the most ever, overall, and public speaking was number one. It was number one before death. Like, people fear public speaking more than they fear death. And that is how difficult it is. And coming from someone, for me personally, who's extremely shy, and it's still a battle for me, to speak publicly. Look how many of these lives I've done. And every single time I get dry mouth, I go to the bathroom 50 million times, my throat clogs. It's a constant. I have pre-performance anxiety. And so I have sympathy for anybody who struggles with public speaking, because it's something that I struggle with. And so, look, if, whatever to overcome it, I don't begrudge anybody on learning how to do it. And if she's improving, good for her. You know what I mean? There is, for me, the world, there's enough space for everybody to thrive in whatever way that is your weakness. And so I wouldn't begrudge a person overcoming, whether it's fear, anxiety, just not being able to, when you're afraid, you can't speak. You get tongue tied. It's just, everything becomes, anybody who has performance anxiety will understand this. So I don't begrudge anybody being able to be better at this. It is a horrible, horrible thing to face every time. The panic is unreal. And so when Harry even talks about it and talked about his, when the panic and panic attacks and all of that stuff, and it is just, it's really debilitating. And so again, I don't, I'm not here for her. I'm not here for all the stuff, but I don't begrudge anybody being able to get help for this. This is, it is really, and especially in that position where she has to speak and she's called on to speak. I don't begrudge anybody going up there and fumbling words. It is a traumatic experience, and I don't wish it on anyone, because I've had it as a child. And I remember one of my big childhood traumas was freezing on stage and then coming off, and then this lady telling me how stupid I was because I froze. I literally froze. I could not speak. And I can look back now and laugh, but I remember how traumatic it was. I couldn't, all the things I wanted to say, I just couldn't say it. And so, again, I don't begrudge someone overcoming that. It is a traumatic thing. So, yeah. But, again, good on her. We won't belabor that. Let's see. Annie says, I'm sorry about that. I don't know where the location restriction for the audiobook. Oh, she's talking to Sherry, I'm sorry, is talking to Annie. So I don't know what they're talking about. I just jumped in there. Let me scroll all the way down and see what else you guys are saying. Let's see. Oh, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Terry says that there will be no peace for that family until they acknowledge and apologize to Meghan for hurting her. Here, here. I'm telling you, this, even their most ardent supporters are now, they're looking at it like, this is not turning out the way we thought. We've thrown everything at that couple in California, and then they're still rising, So yeah, it just even their most ardent supporters are a little shaky at this moment. So, yep, karma is doing her thing, and the Lord and the ancestors and everybody else is doing their thing. Let's see. Let's see. Sylvia says, Petal, I do understand that some people do have fear of public speaking. I think, in my opinion, in this case, is how cruel she treated Meghan, because one, not to have much pity for cosplay. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, look, me having pity doesn't mean I condone her behavior. I mean, we're not one-dimensional people or in any way. I mean, I can have sympathy for that part of, but still, come down on her for what she has done to Meghan. Absolutely. So yeah, I don't see, I definitely, for me, those are two very separate things. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, for me, I always have sympathy for that, public speaking stuff like that. I I don't care who it is. I know the horror. So, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I condone her behavior towards Meghan at all, in any sense of the word, or any one of them in any sense of the word. So let's see. Elaine Parker, hi Elaine, says she is in my hometown today, a local primary school. Whose head teacher refused to allow the students to go cheer her on. Has my respect. Oh, I see. I'm telling you, the UK is rebelling. You guys are definitely rebelling. That's what I'm saying. They are on shaky ground, and especially with all the stuff that has been revealed with Spare, people are looking at them very, very differently, and it's good. Harry said in Spare, if 10% of the scrutiny that is on us were put on the royal family, were put on the institution, they wouldn't be where they are today. And I think more and more, even though the press has not quite come around to that quite yet, but people, the regular folks in the UK, are definitely not as eager to, to fall and bow down. Honestly, we got to tell some of our Black UK friends to stop. It's just like, y'all need to stop, but yeah. Yes, let's see. Leg says, she's talking to Gwendolyn, says for them to apologize would mean for them, they would have to admit that they did something wrong. The idea of kinghood and ruling over people is integral with them. Pathetic. Oh yeah, white supremacist. You never see them apologize. I've never seen a white supremacist apologize in my life. They don't apologize. They'll just gaslight you to death. And which is why I am happy Harry and Meghan moved out of there, because it's like they would never apologize. They will find ways to blame you. and then attack you and claim that you are, weak and mentally unstable because you will not accept their abuse. It just is what they've been doing, you know. Vetty says, yeah, I agree with you, Petal. I too get very nervous when I read the scriptures, but practice makes perfect, and she had 11 years to get it right. There you go. Practice makes well, practicing correctly makes perfect. I used to be on that practice make perfect. I'm like, Petal, well, you can actually practice wrong and then be perfectly wrong. So perfect, when you practice perfection, then yes, you will be, so well, hope she is. And apparently she is better according to some of the posts here. She's better. So that's good. She's improving. That's good. Good for her. Now, for whatever else she's doing, I'm not really paying attention to it, because for me, that's that's for me is like water is wet, fish swim in the ocean, the sky is above. I mean, it's just like nonsense. I'm not paying attention to that one. So let's go back to the Sussexes. Enough on her and her stuff. Okay. A couple more before I jump back into what I was reading. Let's see. Actually, we can go back in, and we could come back to the chat for us in a second. Let's see what else I got. Oh, wait. Oh, this guy, it's so funny. I pulled this into the report in this, and I thought that he was the one playing the music for Harry and Meghan docuseries, but it turned out he isn't. But this guy, I saw it, one of our squaddies posted this on Twitter, and I went to his page, and if you remember the ending music for Harry and Meghan docuseries, he was playing it. It was the most beautiful thing, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought, when I first saw it, because he tagged like Netflix and Liz Garbus and stuff, so I thought he was part of it, but I don't see his name anywhere there. But the music is so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to be frequenting that page quite a bit. So if if you're on Instagram, definitely go and check out the music. It is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, but again, his name isn't anywhere on the docuseries. I guess he was just playing it, and I thought it was because he put the Harry and Meghan series there. So I thought it was, but I don't see his name there. But does not take away from his playing. It's beautiful. So definitely check him out if you want to. And our book club is coming up on the 25th. So thank you to all of our 2 Cents Crew members who voted. We had a choice of 5 books, and Tyler Perry's Higher is Waiting was chosen. Was the most popular choice. So on the 25th of February, we're going to be doing our third book club. And so all of you who are part of the 2 Cents Crew, I've only seen a few of you respond in the community page. So I'm going to say again, if you were anywhere that I'm posting anything for the 2 Cents Crew would be in our community page. So definitely check it out. Definitely vote on things if we put it there. And just, I just want to make sure you're getting the information. But the book that we're going to be reading is Tyler Perry's Higher. I know a lot of people have voted for Michelle Obama's book as well, and Oprah's book. And so next book, we'll definitely keep them in there and add a couple more, and to see if more people would. But for this time, it's going to be called Higher is Waiting. I haven't read it, so I look forward to being able to read it. And so on the 25th, it's going to be at 1 p.m. And from 1 to 1:45 in the chat and call in will be the 2 Cents Crew members. And then at 1:45, it's going to be open up. The live chat is going to be open up to everyone. Everyone could listen to it the whole time. But from 1 to 1:45, it'll just be the 2 Cents Crew members. And then after that, from 1:45 to 3, everyone come in, you can chat and whatever else we're going to do in the book. But, you know, I'm going to put the link to the book where you can purchase it, or you can check out your local library. Maybe they have it there for free, as you can borrow it from the library. I don't know, but, you know, if it's, you know, if it's too much, then you could purchase it. So definitely do this. So I am looking forward to reading it, looking forward to talking about it. So hopefully all of you will be able to join us. But again, Two Cents Crew members, definitely check out our community page, because that's where we post things for the Two Cents Crew. And again, thank you all so much for voting for this. So yes, so that's it. But I'm going to stay in the chat for a bit. And tomorrow we'll talk more about the smart work stuff and the other stuff that you know, that's going on. But yeah, let's see what y'all saying. No more Shutter Island person who's doing her children thing. I don't want to talk about her anymore. I don't want to give her any publicity that she already has. We'll stay on our faves. Our faves has given us incredible work. I want to focus on their work and not others. Sherry says, definitely getting Tyler Perry's book, Higher Learning. Yeah, you know, it's funny, before someone mentioned it as for the book club, I didn't realize he wrote it. Like, I didn't know about it. And so it was just like, oh, I had no idea. So it was really good, because in my mind, you know, we hear a lot of Michelle Obama's book because she did the whole book tour thing. And but I didn't know about Tyler's book. So I'm very excited to be reading it. And also, if you have Audible, check and make sure that, you know, maybe, you know, if you have credits, like every month I get free credits, so I can get a free Audible book. So if you have Audible, check and make sure, you know, if you have any credits, and maybe you could be able to get it as well that way, and you can listen to it. Let's see. Black Queen says, oh, she's talking to Elaine. Glad your daughter work in such a wonderful environment and with such a principal that displays such excellent leadership. Please tell your daughter that the Sussex squad salute them. Yeah, here, here, saluting. Let's see. Veronica says, practice makes performance, not perfect. There you go. That's a good thing too. That's a good saying. It's so funny. That's always in my mind whenever I'm playing tennis, because I'm always like, oh, just hit the ball. And it's like, no. You have to hit the ball in the proper way, so that way you can perfect the shot. Because I could be hitting forever and still be wrong in the way I'm hitting it. Let's see. Bright Eyes PBJ says, a point made, Pedal. Harry and Meghan news. Harry's book is still #1 in the UK for a third week. Yeah, it's still #1 all over for a third week. It is amazing. And again, I love, there's so many comments about this book. I saw this video, and of course I didn't get permission, so I couldn't pull it in here, but of this girl. She was, I think it was like a TikTok, and she was in tears. She was reading the part where Harry was talking about Meghan's miscarriage, and she was in tears, talking about her own, and just encouraging people, like, it's okay to talk about it. So this book is just, oh my goodness, it is helping so many people to just be able to say, and that's been the big thing about the book, is so many people are like, wow, they are just blown away with how real, how honest, and again, I've brought in, different like universities and therapists and all of that stuff. That is ongoing. I come across these comments all the time, and people are like, every time I get to a chapter, I'm like, next chapter, I'm going to read one more and one more and one. I can't put the book down, so yeah. this book is helping so many people. And I hope, especially people, men, especially in the UK, pick up this book and read it, because it just, it's just such a culture. Like the US is a lot more open when, for people to talk about their mental health, to be able to get help, whatever the treatment is, whatever. UK, not so much. And I see it across. I mean, if it's anything like, that I've seen on social media, I'm like, that is, I mean, the cruelty that comes out of people, men and women, when somebody talk about their mental health, it's unreal. And so I hope, they are able to read the book. I mean, this behavior come even from, as we talked about a few episodes back, even from supposed mental health professionals, and so it just like, you people are not cases. You are definitely not cases. Let's see. Let's scroll down a bit and see. Sylvia says, Petal, I saw that TikTok. I feel no one gave enough time to Harry's third chapter. Harry helped deliver Lily. So much of the chapter 3 to discuss. Hey, maybe we could do a book club and just talk about chapter 3. That would be fine. That would be, I mean, there's so much in the book, because I didn't talk so much about it, because of chapter 3, I feel like there's a lot of it that we knew. So it was just like, okay, and some of it obviously we saw in Harry and Meghan docuseries. But like you said, Harry delivering the baby, and then the description of Meghan losing the baby and burying, there, as Harry called it, the little parcel. Yeah, we could definitely make maybe next Saturday or something, we could just talk about chapter 3. Yeah, that I'm totally down for that. So if many people are on here, if others are on here are cool with it, yeah, we could spend a whole episode talking about chapter 3. I am so down for that. It is just I keep rereading parts of that book over and over and over. I think I'm gonna know it word for word pretty soon. So let's see. Anne says, but a lot of young people support Harry and Meghan in the UK, but the monarch have long tentacles. Suppression of news, not supporting them. Yeah, they do. But the good thing about it is that they can't control social media. And that's the thing. That's where they have stumbled greatly. They cannot control it. And so they're still playing 90s game in 2023. And that's why, things are the way they are. Yes, they do have powers within the media, obviously. But again, they cannot control social media. And they have tried to control the squad, and it's like, yeah, good luck with that one. Good luck. Let's see. Courtian Paris. Hello, Courtian. How are you? Courtian says, God prepared a table for Harry and Meghan in the presence of their enemies. May God continue to cover and protect Harry and Meghan and family. Amen to that. Amen. And oddly enough, it's funny, Tyler Perry, when he was talking about his studio, that was one of the things he talked about, how God prepared a table for him in the presence of his enemy, that, that other people could go, fight over being on somebody else's table, but he's working on his own table. And I love that. I think they were presenting him with some kind of like a lifetime achievement award or something like that. And he gave the most amazing speech talking about that table. I can never forget. It's amazing. And that table has been a godsend to so many, including our faves. Where would they be without Tyler Perry? Goodness, grievances. it's like God just blessed him, and he just keeps blessing others with his blessings. And so it's wonderful. Absolutely. Kevin says, yes, I would love to discuss chapter 3. Okay, so how about this? How about Saturday? Our episodes on Saturday, we'll take Saturday and we'll discuss chapter 3. And so if you haven't read chapter 3 of a Spare, please do, and we will talk about it on chapter 3. That would be we will talk about it on Saturday. I'm sorry. So yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. Karen says, I don't want to talk about all the chapters because people are still reading, but I would talk about I didn't talk about all the chapters because people were still reading, but I would like to talk about all the chapters. Okay. Okay, well, how about we could do, because again, it's so much information in all the chapters. So how about this Saturday we chat about chapter 3, and then we'll go we'll go backwards, that's the way I tend to read. And then maybe the following Saturday we'll talk about chapter 2, and then wait, how I think it's then the following Saturday, I don't think that's the 25th. We can talk about one, and then the 25th we talk about we do our regular book club with Tyler Perry. I mean, I could totally do that. Absolutely. Because when we did the book club the last time, we were just sort of like, sort of trying to get, all encompassing, all over the book, but we could definitely go in depth. So how about we do first Saturday, we'll do chapter 3. And we can, talk about anything you want to talk about. And we, obviously we'll have people call in and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm down. Hybrid version of our 2 cents 2 cents book club. Let's see. Nullithandu, hello Nullithandu, how are you? Nullithandu says, hello Petal and beloved squatties. I am stressed about the electricity blackout that are preventing my full participation in the Squatties podcast. Within 3 minutes, it will be another one. Whoa, really? Where I didn't realize you were having blackouts. I am so sorry. That is not fun. I used to have, when you grew up in the Caribbean, we used to have those all the time. That was not fun. So I am so sorry that you are having blackouts. I hope it stay on. I mean, we're not going to be on for much longer, and the replay's there. So yeah. Oh, that is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. When I was growing up, we had them all the time. Those horrible blackouts. Ooh. Terry says, let's focus on our lovely Montecito couple and their amazing work. Absolutely. I'm all for that. I am absolutely all for that. Oh, Clarissa, thank you so much for your donation. Oh, she's new to the town. Oh, welcome. Happy to have you here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And welcome. Maybe I have a welcome song. Okay, I think I'll do that. Have some welcome music. I'm going to imitate Baron, because Baron has sounds for everything, and I am not good at it. He's like a genius at these sounds. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like right at his fingertips. And I was like, So I'll do a welcome sound or song or music or something. So in the meantime, Clarissa, welcome and thank you for your donation. Or as Baron says, thank you for donating to Royal Sussex. Except it's not Royal Sussex. It's Facts and 2 cents. Let's see. Karen says, I was crying and laughing throughout the book. That is why I said it's educational, inspirational, and history making for all of life's something. I think you were... were you writing something else there, Karen? But yeah, it's totally is. And I know historians must be really loving this book because, as we talked about before, in the UK, they have been trying to get historical records from the royal family, from the I don't know, wherever else they keep their, archives for their royals past. And the royals have not been releasing them to historians so that they can properly write history. They've been hiding them. And if we know anything about the royal family, their thing is always to hide it so they can change it. And so they've been, historians have been taking them to court. The press has been taking them to court to try to get those documents, and nothing. So Harry's book is filled with so many things in there. And so I'm sure they must be really excited to get some information about something, if only the description of what rooms are, because Harry's memory about rooms is so funny how his memory works. And I'm so happy he talked about it in the book. Like, he can remember every detail in a room. He can remember spaces and all of that stuff. Don't ask him about dates. He cannot remember dates properly or specific, verbatim conversations per se, but he will remember, he will describe in specific details down to the ER on his sheets, Elizabeth Regina on his sheets, and the little tears, and it's amazing how the memory works. But yeah, so I'm sure historians are really excited. And again, yeah, Spare is a historical document, so it is good. It is just so good. And yes, laughing, crying, I so relate. I so relate. That was about lots, let's see. Betty says, I'll try to catch you live on Saturday for chapter 3. Yeah, let's do chapter 3 on Saturday. And that'll be awesome. And gives me an excuse to listen to it again for like the 20th time. I know very much, yeah. Cookies and Cream says, the successes are about giving, sharing, and caring. That is why they always be blessed. They will always be blessed in all their endeavors. Yeah, that is so true. Again, they have come here, and even when they're in the UK, they never asked it for anything. They're just here to give, and that's all they've done. And so it is beautiful. Annie Bennett says, yes, South Africa is experiencing an energy crisis. Oh, goodness, grievances. I am so sorry. Ugh. That, again, if you are from the Caribbean, you know this very well. I know this very well, so I can relate to the horror of that. I am so sorry. Wow. Do they know how long it's going to last? Or at least, do they have any idea? Goodness. This is just bad. Let's see, a few more. Gwendolyn says, I was discussing Harry's book with a friend who hasn't read it. She was being negative about towards Meghan. I told her it seemed that people who have a problem with Meghan are those who have never met her. So very true. So very true. You will not find people who has actually met Meghan saying negative things about her. And that includes all those people who are harassing her, or at least trying to, in the press. They have not met her. They don't know her. So, yeah, very, very, very true. Compton Caligal says, Kathy, it was funny when Harry talked about how Charles smelled. I wonder if his cologne is selling. That is another thing, isn't it, with Harry? His smell is a big thing for him, because he always talks about that. He talked about how remembering how his mom smelled, how the Queen smelled, how his dad smelled. His smell is like, even when he went to the I think his therapist, he had, like, they sprayed the perfume. Smell is a big thing. It helps him to recall things. And so, and even when he was talking about his frozen nether regions, one of the things he says, when he opened it, the smell took him back. And so, yeah, smell is such a big thing for him. And so it's so wild how the mind and how memory works, the things that jog our memory. But that is so true. you know, how he described child descent of whatever the different things are in that perfume, and he talks about it, including gunpowder. It's just like gunpowder. I don't know how gunpowder smells, but okay. Um, but yeah, it's very interesting. But again, historians would be like, "Oh, Charles used this perfume." I could also imagine Prince Charles screaming like, "No, Harry, I cannot believe you told people that I exercise in my boxer shorts hanging from the door." I can almost hear the scream coming out of Clarence's house. It's like, Harry, you just did wrong. That is just so wrong. But I love it. He really actually humanized Prince Charles, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, he exercises in his boxer shorts and he screams if somebody even touches the knob. So yeah. So it's just I love it. So many things made me laugh out loud from that book. So yes. Sylvia says, yeah, Petal Chapter 3 truly shows us how Harry's mental health issues started to be cleared up. Yes, that's when he really started getting help and really started to think. And I think that's why the family all of a sudden is like, wait a minute, you're not, going off the deep ends anymore. You're actually you're functioning like, you know what I mean? Like you suppose, I want to say supposed to function, but he's really started getting help for what he was going through. And all of a sudden his family's like, who are you? And they wanted him to go back to a place where he was dependent on them. And they cannot relate to this Harry who is like, wow, he is well and is getting better. And it's just, yeah, it's funny when you have people in your life that they're not looking out for your best interest, that they don't want to see you advance, they don't want to see you get better. That it's wild. I cannot imagine how that feels. Matilda says, if she embraced Meghan, her shortfalls would not have been so visible, but they would have complemented each other. I am not sure what you're talking about. I'm assuming is other one on Shutter Island, so we'll leave that one there. Tyler Perry is like an angel on earth. Such compassion and love. I absolutely agree. And God bless the correct person with what he has blessed him with, and look at the heart he's had in giving back and supporting people. It just it's amazing. I remember this story with, I think it was Cicely Tyson, who, elderly like Black entertainers, they were always not paid very much in the entertainment business. They were always, even today, white counterparts make more money than Black entertainers. And when she did I think she did like a guest spot on either one of his movies or show, he paid her, I think it was 10 times the amount that she would have normally gotten paid. He just made sure that she was taken care of. And it was just such an amazing thing that she, and obviously Cecily Tyson is elderly and all of that stuff, but he made sure and paid her 10 times more than she normally would have gotten paid. And it's just like, that is the kind of heart. So made sure she was set up, so it just, yeah. Amazing man. Let's see a few more before we end. Patricia says he basically fell in love with Meghan at first sight. He said in her presence on the first day his circuits was all over the place. He basically fell in love with Meghan at first sight. He said in her presence on the first date his circuits were all over the place. Well, yeah, I guess that happens when when you fall in love with a person and they're right in front of you. It's so funny. It's just, yeah, there you go. Let's see. Joy says Tyler was an angel sent to Harry and Meghan, and yes, bring Lily's godfather. And yes, bring Lily's godfather was being Lily's godfather was correct. I know, it's like it's so awesome. He's Lily's godfather. I love that story with Tyler in the Harry and Meghan docuseries. Like, we could do something over here, but I don't want to go over there. Tyler is so not feeling the royal family. I love it. I absolutely love it. um Sylvia says, Petal, that's why I was disappointed in some of Harry's interviews because they only wanted to focus on Harry and his father and brother and Camilla. Yeah, I could see that, but maybe because we just had the Harry and Meghan docuseries, and people feel like, okay, so I kind of got pretty much a hang because that was there and it's still there. So maybe that's why. And there were so many unanswered questions, I think, between Harry and between Harry and William and Charles and Camilla. So maybe that's why it was. And again, we just had the Harry and Meghan docuseries, so that could be it as well. But of course, we can't get enough of our fave. And so yeah. And obviously, people will be attracted more to a conflict situation than there would be to, oh, okay, you two are okay, you're in love and all of that stuff. So there would be more because, again, this controversy, and all of that stuff. So that's what will sell the papers. So that's, at least that's how I see it. Let's see. Gwendolyn Daniel says, truthfully, they always put Harry last. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even behind the staff. Just like, I'm like, Harry, are you sure you're a member of this family? Because they really don't treat you like your family member. They really, really don't treat Harry and didn't treat him like a family member at all. So yeah, it's very, very weird, that family. Cookies and Cream are awesome moderators. She's talking to Andy Pauno. Hello, Andy Pauno. I don't know that name. Says exactly, they no longer control the narrative. It's totally cut off and so-called racist journalists' ability to write books about the Sussexes and make money off of them. That's why they're so angry at the Sussexes. You can't go write a book about them now because everybody would side-eye you. It's like, and who would believe a book that says sources? You know what I mean? Who would buy that, that says sources say? It's like, if you're not going to give up the name of the person, Harry gave up the names. He called them out, including his member of his family. So if he did that, sources is not going to work anymore. And if he didn't call their name for a specific reason, he doesn't want to give those ridiculous journalists, reporters clout. He described them so well that you know exactly who he's talking about, including the wasp, the bee, and the fly. Just like I can never get over that. I'm like, how did he even come to that? Like, how did he even formulate to think of them as, a wasp, a bee, and a fly? Like Harry's mind, man. Let's see. A couple more before we end. Sandy Powell, I see all of your let's see, purple sweaty face. I would love to see what all of these things are because again, they only come in words I don't know. But she says it's volume of sales in dollars. I'm assuming you're talking about Spare. Spare is doing well. Again, still number one. So there you go. Let's see. Someone I didn't call before. Marjorie says, very descriptive. One can visualize like being there. Yes, that is what I loved about it, because if you were like me and you were raised in the Caribbean, like when I was growing up, before I got to be like teens, we didn't have a television. So I was a bookworm. At least they used to call me a bookworm, because my head would be buried in a book. They literally refer to me as bookworm. And I basically called myself that way when I was growing up. But that's how my mind was. It's like um my imagination was so developed because of the book, whether it's Nancy Drew or the what is it, JK, what's not JK, VC Andrews book, those Flowers in the Attic book that tortured you. That's the reason why I started reading things backwards. Because they were so descriptive. You could sit there and imagine what every place is, and that is exactly it. When I was reading this book, because as he's describing the rooms, as he's describing the hallways, he's describing his, whether he is in the cockpit of his Apache helicopter, whatever, I could literally sit there and imagine everything he is talking about. And it was amazing. And it definitely took me back to my childhood again, from reading, I was, especially Nancy Drew. I had like all of them, and I was just like, my imagination was to the point where I remember when I first moved here, I was walking on 80th Street between Amsterdam and Columbus. And I looked up, and there was one of a Nancy Drew book that's called something in it's something about an attic. I think it was called, like the title of it, something attic. And I looked up and I saw the place that in my imagination was like in the attic. And I remember standing there, I'm like, Nancy Drew's attic. Now, I don't know if that's the attic, but that's what I had imagined. And so on 80th, between Amsterdam and Columbus, I saw what I'd imagined as a child. And so for me, that is exactly what Harry's book did for me as well, because it's just like, oh my gosh, those descriptions were amazing. I could imagine the ER on the sheets. It's just like unbelievable, unreal. I love it. So, and that's to tell you that could tell you how amazing this book is. It has surpassed every expectations of this book. Completely surpassed it. V Thomas says, so true, Pedal. I could do the same. Yeah, I was Nancy Drew for the, oh, you too. As well as growing up in the Caribbean. Yeah, because we didn't have television when I was younger. So it was all the books. And yeah. And Nancy Drew, yeah, I was like Bess, George, Nancy, Ned, and I was the detective girl with those books. And then I got to VC Andrews, and then I had to start reading things backwards because it was so traumatic. I was just like, I had to make sure all my favorite characters are alive before I start this book. Let's see. Margie says, yes, but when I read, I do place myself there. There were descriptions, even when I was studying. Yeah, I could totally. And it's so great. It's like you help kids to develop their imagination. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I still have to watch, because when I try to imagine things, my imagination, because it's so developed, it could go well beyond anything, and then I end up being disappointed. But I can tell you, I was not disappointed with Spare at all. Yes. Body says Harry's bed, like he said, the bed was high and then he had to roll down in the middle. Yes, exactly. I was just like, why? It's like these people are so rich, and poor Harry had to like roll down a hill to get to the middle of his bed. And he talks about, the sheet pulled so tight. Okay, let's see. Couple more. TT Carter says, I'm glad the focus was on Charles, Camilla, and Willie. Their camp was the main focus of the leaks, and accountability needed to be made, and apology to Meghan. Yeah. I mean, I hope, because Harry especially, lay down his I don't want to say law, but he laid down, you know, for him, what it would take for him to go to the coronation, or, you know, having any kind of a relationship with his family, is that they have to take accountability for what they've done to him and Meghan. They have to apologize for it, and apologize to Meghan. You know, so Harry has already laid it out there. I hopefully that they hold on to it and they don't cave and back down, because again, the royal family, they never apologize for anything, you know. So I hope that they, you know, one, don't respond to them unless they are apologizing. And to tell you the truth, if Prince Charles or King Charles wants to have a relationship with Harry and Meghan, he could jump on a plane and go to California. You know, I wouldn't have him stay at my house, but he could jump on a plane, stay at a hotel in Montecito, and have a chat. Why does Harry and Meghan have to go there? He travels all over the world. There's no reason, if he wants to have a relationship with his son. Harry has reached out enough. It's time for Charles to, you know, be a father for once in his life and go to California and apologize for what he's done. And he should be lucky that Harry even wants to have a relationship with him. That for me is grace. The fact that Harry has not and Meghan have not cut them off, that is grace in and of itself. So the idea that Harry should go there is ridiculous. Charles flies all over the world. He should be going to Harry and begging forgiveness for what he has done for his entire life. You know, so at least that's what I see. But, you know, if he did that, I hope, you know, Harry and Meghan be like, you're not coming to my house. We go to a hotel somewhere and we have a conversation over there. I wouldn't trust any of them in my house. He like put a bug in my house or something. I would not trust them. Bellissima says, so that's why you prosecute the case so well, Petal. Your detective skills from reading Nancy Drew served you well. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, no, I was like a total Nancy Drew fanatic. I'm telling you, all of them. George, Bess, Nancy, Ned, the whole group. And says a spare did not disappoint, hence the reason it broke all records. Yeah, exactly. Nobody could, other than if you're Crazy Ones on Shutter Island, nobody has given this book a bad review. Let's see. Cheryl W says they will never apologize because they are entitled and are surrounded by enablers in an echo chamber. Exactly. And that is why, if I were Harry and Meghan, I would not back down. They need to come out of that bubble, away from their echo chamber, to California and apologize. Why should your victim come to you? You should be the one going on your knees to your victims that you have hurt, you know? So I would be like, nah, thanks, but no, we're staying home. Plus, why should they go? It's Archie's birthday. Archie's birthday is a lot more important than what nonsense Charles is doing on, you know, this unnecessary coronation. He's already king. Why is he having a coronation? Wasting taxpayers' money, you know? So, yeah. Archie's birthday is May 4th. No need to be going to the UK. So, and that's what we'd be celebrating. I would not be doing, advertising anything from the coronation. That is Archie's birthday, and that is it. So, thank you, Lydia. 509 in the chat. Yes, definitely. Please click the like button. Please click the like button and share our video and help us grow our channel. So thank you so much, guys. Definitely share. I'm going to put our banner back up so you can remember, subscribe. If you're new here, definitely click the, subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. And definitely like, share, and if you're able, join our 2 Cents crew. and that would be awesome. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Trish, Nelly, Karen, M, Cookies and Cream. I appreciate y'all so much for everything that you do for the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And our awesome 2 Cents Crew members. Don't forget 2 Cents Crew. Check out the community page for communications for 2 Cents Crew. And yeah, thank you so much for, out of the kindness of your heart, definitely, that you support the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And also our Gold Star supporters who support the chat, as you can see in the chat, whether it's super thanks, super chat, donation, PayPal, Cash App. Thank you all so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do it out of the kindness of your heart. You've done it. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you all so very much. And oh, this came out the way I wanted it. Nothing else seemed to come out the way I wanted it. So there you go. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and I will chat with you all tomorrow. Bye. Have a great day. See you soon.